1/3 of the Democrats in the House of Representatives now come from Massachusetts, New York, and California. There is no reason why we don't have competitive numbers in Ohio, Pennsylvania, North Carolina. When I went to Congress, there were 269 Democrats, majority through the whole Confederacy, old Confederacy. And I try to say to people all the time who want a pure party that they miss the point. When those people leave in the South, they're replaced by Republicans. So those individuals are going to vote for Nancy Pelosi to be Speaker. They're not going to be with you on a lot of other issues, but they're going to be with you 65 or 70% of the time, and 2/3 works for me.
Should the party, working off that point, should the party be a lot more welcoming of Democrats who oppose abortion rights?
I think the Democratic Party should have a candidate who fits the DNA of that individual congressional district.
Including ones who are pro-life?
If they are pro-life, they're pro-life. And you know what? Bob Casey is a Democratic senator in Pennsylvania, as Nancy Pelosi carefully explained a couple of weeks ago, and she hit it on the head. Rick Santorum was the senator from Pennsylvania. He got elected and he got reelected. Bob Casey beat him by 17 points. So you agree with Bob Casey 90% of the time, and you might disagree with him 1% of the time. I'd rather that than have somebody I disagree with 90% of the time and agree with 10% of the time.
Following up on that, if indeed you were to have, I guess I'm confused as to how Democrats will have more pro-life candidates. Here's what Tom Perez, the chairman of the Democratic National Committee, he sort of said the opposite. This was the lead from a Huffington Post story on April 21st of this year. Democratic National Committee Chairman Tom Perez became the first head of the party to demand ideological purity on abortion rights, promising Friday to support only Democratic candidates who back a woman's right to choose. Quote, every Democrat, like every American, should support a woman's right to make her own choices about her body and her health. With party leadership like that, how are you going to win back the South?
I agree with Nancy Pelosi.
So you
big tent.
you feel like he wasn't the right place there?
Well, I mean, I ask based on the question that I offered at the beginning. So more Democrats in Massachusetts? Where do you get them? I had a member of Congress who was clearly losing their fastball last June, whispered to me, Rich, I heard we can pick up 2 more seats in Massachusetts. I remember looking at the person. I'm even going to give you the pronoun. I looked at the person and said, not unless we invade New Hampshire and Maine. You know, I mean, I will tell you, we've got 2 very good congresswomen in New Hampshire, Annie Custer and Carol Shea Porter. And I don't expect them to fall in line every time in a state that's really close to 50-50. But I know this, that they're going to vote for Democratic leadership to run the House of Representatives.